It's catchy. It's catchy.
It is.
I mean,
it would be. You feel more badass playing someone called Fury than you would be. I'm Famine, and these are my blades. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Yeah, I can't get enough of that. How are you, Dave?
I'm not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. I know, it's our same intro.
But people have fallen in love with it.
Oh, of course.
Right, listeners?
Their day cannot start without knowing that we're both well. As soon as they know that, their day just starts off so well.
This is very true. Although I do think that they're going to start to question if it's going well every single time. I think maybe we should have one episode where you ask me, "Are you well, Nick?" and I say, "No, Dave, I'm very depressed."
Yeah, exactly. Add some realism to the podcast, because we can't always just be these happy, cartoony-esque people. Get some realism, some deep stuff in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, what game are we doing today?
Right, today we are quite exciting. We're reviewing the 2018 game from THQ Nordic called Darksiders 3.
Yes,
which is our first Darksiders game.
Yeah, the list decided not to give us the first one, not to give us the second one, but the third one.
The
third one. Just because, why not?
Thank you.
Darksiders 3, which is a relatively well-known IP nowadays, don't you think?
I think so. It's the fourth game in the series.
Fourth?
Or is it the third? It's either the fourth or the third.
I'm immediately saying the third because it's called 3. But is there a PSP spin-offy one or something that I don't know about?
No, PlayStation. Well, I can't remember if it's PlayStation or multi-platform. But there is a spin-off game where you are playing co-op top-down view, like Diablo.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. I did not know that at all. Okay,
so you and your friend, one's playing War, which is one of the Horsemen, and the other one is playing Wrath? Yes, Wrath, which is another Horseman, the one we haven't met yet.
Okay, cool. Okay, no, I didn't know that, but fair enough. Yes, that sounds like that would work out.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun, but it's very different to what they usually do in the main series, in the main trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like you said. It's a top-down type scenario, which. Okay, but anyway, this is the fourth or third version of the Darksiders games.
Yes. I think this game, I'll remove that stuttering entirely. This game really harkens back to a simpler time in video gaming.
Oh yes, yeah, no, right? Really, and it was released 2018.
2018, yes, reminiscent of games released 10 years before that.
Yes, no, it is like a throwback, but I agree entirely. But it's by THQ Nordic, which of course.
Yeah.
Used to be THQ, and there's quite a history back there in regards to the company and developers and stuff like that, isn't there?
Formerly, THQ went bankrupt after releasing some killer games like Titan Quest and all the older wrestling games. They went bankrupt, and the IPs, and I think the studio got bought over by Embracer Group.
Okay. They bought a bunch of studios, didn't they?
Yes. And this bankrupt THQ was one of them, and they just renamed the studio THQ Nordic. I don't know why.
Well, because THQ was around for quite a long time, right?
Yes.
As a brand, so I can understand keeping that because it's kind of recognizable branding, isn't it? THQ.
That makes sense.
It's been the only other game that I apart from Darksiders that I even truly recognize was that Biomutant. They released that one.
What?
I know a year or so.
New Biomutant.
Yeah, the little raccoon fella. I think he's a raccoon.
Is that THQ Nordic?
Yeah.
No way.
I was shocked. Yeah,
wow.
I haven't actually played that, but that's the only one that they've released apart from Darksiders that I truly recognize. I know that they do have a lot of releases, but not ones IPs that I know.
They've been around for ages. I think since the 90s, THQ's been around.
Yes, no, I think you're right.
But yeah, today we're talking about Darksiders 3. We're going nice, in-depth, checking out all the segments. This game was just simple fun.
It was. It reminds.
It's not layered. It's not super deep. It's fun.
But like you said it perfectly. It's like it's a game that's designed as a throwback because it is, and I think that was the point. It does. When you're playing it, it reminded me of like God of War, like the original God of War. You know, just the hack and slash type combat. I was thinking
the exact same.
And then, like, for some reason, they've chucked in a few like Dark Souls gimmicks in there, i.e., soul collecting and but yeah, it had that it really did have that feeling of the original God of War. Room, 6 baddies in it, swing your swords round, clear out room, look for chests, find a puzzle, next room.
Some puzzles.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's a tried and true formula to some degree.
That's it. It is. But that's exactly what the first Darksiders. That's exactly what the first and second Darksiders games were.
Yeah, I never actually played them. Same. You have, right?
A tiny bit. And with this third game, it feels like those older games, which did release in, I think, 2008 or 7. I can't remember.
Yeah, feels like that. Yeah, so it was a while ago.
It makes absolute sense for this game to feel like an older game.
Yes, yeah. No, I understand what you mean. Yeah, I agree entirely.
The old God of War games, I was thinking that this game feels a lot like the old arcadey God of War games. So if you're not a fan of the new God of War games, first of all, why? And then secondly, if you can't get used to it, go play Darksiders. It's the same arcadey feel. Even the third one has got these huge chain blade thingies.
Yes, no, that's exactly right. It's even the attacking style is very reminiscent of the Chains of Chaos from God of War.
Very much. But let's dive into it. First up, we've got narrative. The narrative for this game, I'm going to be honest, I didn't get as far in the game where it started to...
Yeah, it's one of those games which they've got the whole how to write a story the wrong way round. It's like
what?
No, you're supposed to, in a story, grab them in the first few chapters and then take them on a journey, right? Okay. This game is kind of slow in the first few chapters and then gains momentum later on. I found the story at the beginning kind of like, okay, yeah, you're building up on a premise and... Okay, your premise is to track down and defeat or capture the 7 deadly sins.
Yes.
Which is I don't know if it's just me, but that premise seems to be overused nowadays. I don't know.
7 deadly sins.
Yeah, it's on TV. It's in games. It's got its own anime, I believe. Oh, it's in a few animes that I know of. Maybe it's just me.
It's catchy. It's super catchy, right?
It is.
You could instantly have 7. If you do it right, compelling and different antagonists. What's it? Sloth, lust, gluttony. Yeah. What's it? Envy.
Yeah, go on. Now you've done it to yourself. Now you've got to finish it.
Damn. Oh wait. Okay.
It's hard. It's hard to get.
It's hard. Okay.
That's 5.
Lust,
you still got
sloth, envy, gluttony, greed.
Yes.
Wrath? No, not Wrath. Wrath is one of the Horsemen.
Yeah.
Oh no, I need 2 more.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to think what it is now.
Not jealousy. That's envy.
No.
I give up. What are they?
Well, I need to write that down. It's gluttony, greed, envy,
sloth, and lust.
Sloth and lust.
What are the other 2? Okay. I'm tapping. I'm going to Google.
Yeah, you're gonna have
7 deadly sins. Oh, thank you. Now it's giving me the anime.
Yeah, no, of course it is. That was what I was saying. It will do.
Pride.
And
Wrath. Wrath was one of them. Okay, so I had 6. I had 6. Yeah, all of them except for Pride.
Yeah,
hell yeah, gamer.
Nice. Anyway, that was a fun segue. Try to use our brains here. Get the cobwebs off.
Okay. Yes. So the 7 deadly sins are what you're hunting down in this entire game. Immediately after fighting, I don't know, like 5 puny minions, you get thrown into a boss battle with one of the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, you get the first one's envy, isn't it?
It is. It's a huge crow lady witch type thing.
Yeah, that's right. Like I said, narratively, it's slow at the beginning, because you've already got the premise. You're tasked by these. I'm sure you probably remember them, but these big fiery heads. I don't know who they're called. Thank you. Who task you to track down the 7 deadly sins and bring them...
Because your brother is a traitor and he was totally not framed.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm guessing is the storyline as of the first game, right? Is that the first one? He's the...
Entirely. He was the protagonist of the first game, War.
He was, right? Yeah.
Massive greatsword.
So narratively, knowing the other games probably helps a lot more into some degree, so you actually know what's going on, because you and I both kind of came in here without knowing the backstory. So
the first games, it had story, but the only thing that they carry over is the characters and the world building.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
So Earth was completely ruined in the first game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You were still working for the Charred Council, you and all of your horse mates. So it's just characters, really. Stories taking a backseat to characters.
Yeah. Mm. And there was one thing that I just thought was random. I know you know when you took on Wrath, and then that's when the plot twist changes and
yes, your horse comes in all beaten up.
Yeah, that's what took me that I didn't think was good writing. Maybe it's just me, because at the beginning of the game, she's sitting there waiting for a call, and she just goes to her horse, "I would kill you if I didn't love you so much."
No, I remember this. She said, "I'd kill you just for something to do," because she was so bored.
Yeah. So we already got the premise that she loves the horse, but she could also brutally murder it. And then later on, when you're taken on Wrath, she calls her horse. Not too spoilers here, and the horse is attacked or is dying, and then she's distracted by that.
Yeah,
and
she's
I'm like,
completely distraught by this horse not making it through.
But that seemed like too much of an easy little segue to make her get distracted, if you know what I mean. Let's just all of a sudden make her horse die.
That entire scene was bonkers. She's kneeling at the horse. I can't remember the name of the horse. She's kneeling at the horse, and then from behind, this Wrath captain, whatever, stabs her from behind. Is that what happened?
That's right. Yes.
Impels her with... picks her up, and then she breaks the blade in half with a nice big chunk of it still in her stomach. It's it's insane. She then pushes it further through her stomach so that it's protruding from her back.
Correct.
And then jumps back into his face, killing him. Well, that's some Rube Goldberg type cockamamie fighting.
You're not wrong. It was I don't know. I can understand. It's kind of like it hits. That's almost like an anime trope type ability.
Yes.
You know, always pushing the limit and doing some really bizarre attack that works out at the very end. It's like, whoa,
she did it.
Yeah, exactly. But as the story goes on, and I don't want to chuck too many spoilers, it actually gets better. Like it's more than you're just tasked with killing the 7 deadly sins. It's more portrayal, twists,
right. So
deciding who she's going to be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it does get better, but it does have quite a slow start, in my opinion. Yeah. So it's very hit and miss, depending on a lot of it you see coming. For example, you know the story is not
predictable.
Yeah. It's not shock and awe all the time.
What I didn't like is Fury. Right, the lady you're playing as Fury. She's one of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, along with her brothers War, Death, and oh man. Okay, so it's not Wrath, because Wrath is one of the sins.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go again. Google
isn't
it
Famine?
Famine. No, that's one of the horses.
Yeah. Is that
Famine is one of the 4 horsemen of the Bible. Okay. So it's Conquest, War, Famine, and Death. What? These aren't their names. I thought Fury. I thought her name was Fury.
Well, the thing is this. I think they change depending, because I also know one is Pestilence, to my knowledge, but I can't remember. Because there's lots of different words for say, Fury, for example, and Famine, you could also call... I think that sometimes they're given different names as long as they denote the same trait, so to speak.
Okay.
So I think it differs in that regard.
Here's his name. Okay, so War, Death, Pestilence, who they call Strife, and Famine, who they call Fury. Okay, so she's Famine. It's probably her real name.
Yes, okay, that would be her, yes. Okay. It's a stretch to make Famine Fury, but alright.
It's catchy. It's catchy.
It is. I mean, it would be. You feel more badass playing someone called Fury than you would be. I'm Famine, and these are my blades. That's right. Yeah,
my
be hungry.
Pestilence.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, what was that? Pestilence. Those are a lot of syllables.
Yeah, can you spell that for me, please, just so I remember your name? It's Pestilence. No, just call me Wrath. I don't know which one. Yeah.
Strife.
Yeah, there you go.
Easy. Okay, so tangent over. You're playing as Fury, and I did not like Fury. I did not like the main protagonist of this game.
In theory, I don't think you're supposed to at the beginning. I think you're not supposed to like her because she kind of like later on you can either take her down a redeeming arc or not. Like I said, I won't do spoilers, but you can redeem her character a bit, and she likes humans more and stuff like that. There
is a character arc, and there is some development.
There is, but it isn't. It isn't, Tolkien or J.R.R. Martin type levels of character development. It's relatively see-through, but it's there, so you got to give him credit for that.
Oh no, the humans were having a hard time too.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like them now.
Yes, it pretty much, like I said, you don't even know the story, but you're pretty much word for word to say what happens.
Okay. So, I'm glad there's some development. I'm glad the story picks up later on. Is it just the first act of this game that doesn't hook? Does this game just not hook well?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's like the first 2 to 3 it doesn't, and then the story changes where at least now you're more invested. It's not a great deal, but it does do it, in my opinion. You got to give it credit for that. It does invest you a little bit later on.
Because I was thinking, this game, it's not a... I was thinking, I might be wrong about this. It's not about being invested in this Tolkien-esque or Martin-esque massive world and spider-webbed story. It's just about being a badass.
Yes. Yeah, no, that is its fundamental aspect, yes. With a couple twists and turns, but it's just about you becoming more powerful version of yourself. It's pretty much it. Which is, again, like an arcadey old school. That's what they all used to be about anyway.
Exactly like the God of War games.
Yeah, exactly. As you developed more powers, yeah.
You would end the first game by being the ultimate badass, the God of War.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay. Not my cup of tea, but I can understand. I can completely understand.
That's pretty much it for narrative, to be honest with you. It's simple. It's simple, but then, like you said, you're playing this game for the fighting and becoming a badass than you are to follow the narrative, in my opinion. So it is what it is.
If the story is a bit bare bones at the start, it can almost be forgiven if the world looks nice or if the game looks pretty, which I don't think this game does, being released in 2018.
No, like you said, you can forgive a lot of things, and like I said, it looks not too different to Darksiders 1 and 2, which were released a lot earlier in 2008 or 10 or whatever you said. Like, I can see they've chosen a style. Like, it reminded me of like 90s cartoons. I don't know if you got that same vibe, and there is a cartoony style to how they do things. Which,
yes, like her expression, for instance.
Yes.
Her eyebrows and mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be a bit stretchy.
Yeah, it's strangely enough, the guy you gave the souls into? Vulcan. I don't know their name. Thank you. He reminded... I don't know why he had those vibes of one of those cheesy Power Rangers bad guys that used to morph into the size of a building. But, it's got that same weird cartoony... Maybe it was just me. Maybe I'm being too nostalgic for the 90s. But they just had those weird vibes, which I can see they were trying for. And it worked, but that still comes across like 90s visuals, which, you can do better. You can do better.
You're going for a cartoony style, that's fine. But you can you can put some detail in the environments. I mean, I know everybody rips on Fortnite, but take a look at what they're doing. The game, it's a cartoony style, but it looks good.
Yeah, no, exactly right. It's like there was, and even just that things about it, even the bad guys just became so generic and like, this, samey. It's like, oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's these guys. Oh, it's Bugs.
It's Big Demon Man.
Yeah, and it was just
it's another Big Demon Man.
It's like, again, it's very much, the only reason we say meh, because it does, God of War did the same thing to some degree. But that game is really, really old, and it kind of got away with it, whereas this game's not too old and is doing the same things. And we kind of expect more now, especially from a developer that's not, it's not indie or anything like that. So you do hide them to a better level
of course.
Compared
especially
to others.
In the year 2018. What else released in 2018?
You'd have to Google that, sorry.
Is that not Death Stranding?
Really? Did Death Stranding release in 2018?
No, I don't know. I'm going to... Oh, man! The rebooted God of War. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, wow.
What?
Okay.
Monster Hunter World, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. No, this game has absolutely no excuse for looking this bad.
No, exactly.
No,
that's
it's
crazy.
Got no excuse. I'm sorry.
No, it just fueled. That's crazy. Like I said, I'm already shocked that Red Dead Redemption came out then as well. It's been that long already. Yeah.
Detroit Become Human, Spider-Man for PS4. No, this game, it's not allowed to look this bad. Darksiders 3, it's not allowed. The character models are creative and in depth. That's about it. That's it.
Yeah, like my wife she was again watching me play. Her biggest gripe is how Fury can come from hell or wherever hell space it was. Yet her hair looks so good and shiny and not frizzy and humid at all. She wants to know what hairstylists went to hell, because her hair was amazing, and my wife just couldn't get past that. That was about it. Yeah. It's the only graphical aspect that was appreciated, at least in my household, was her hair.
Was Fury's hair, which might not even be hair. It just looks like it's part of a helmet. That's very true. A horse's mane.
Yeah, it's true. I wonder if there's that aspect to it. But that's about, like you said, the idea that all those other games came out the same year, and these were putting out God of War, PlayStation 2, kind of, I'll give you rendered nicer type textures. It isn't. It's not good. Like no, you're so right. There's one area when you go underground and it's covered in cobwebs and like egg sacs and that's remember. It. Like everywhere. That was like their number one texture for. I think we were in the underground or something like that, like in the dystopian city. We were supposed to be in the underground tunnels
the sewers
of the train
or
station.
Subway.
Yeah. But all they did was copy and paste the same exact same textures, again and again and again.
No. No wonder you went bankrupt.
Yeah, you almost deserved it. So.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. The lighting is fine, but everything is so incredibly empty.
Yeah,
These places look empty, devoid of anything that would give detail. Just give it some life.
Yeah, just going from one place to another in these big hallways and like, have I been down here? Have I been down here? Oh, there you go. There's the little hole I was looking for. It is. Yeah, it's too samey. It's again, it almost seemed rushed again. Maybe that's just me, because granted, I don't know what the other ones look like. Is it possible they actually use the same textures and stuff like that from the original games?
Oh wow, could it be?
Would be even worse?
No,
but I don't know if that's the case. That would be bad.
But
yeah, visually it's very meh. Like it does remind me of a PlayStation. Did this come out on PlayStation 3 and stuff? 2018. It couldn't have done, right? That was the PlayStation 4 era.
The PS4 era. What are you talking about?
The graphics, this looks like a PlayStation 3 game.
Oh, it does look like a PS3 game, but no, this is very deep into the PS4 era.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So it's not even that. It's not even like a different dev kit or anything like that. They literally had the PlayStation 4 dev kit and rendered it in PlayStation 3-esque graphics. So yeah, it's alright. It's not great. It's passable. The graphics are passable, but that's about as far as I'd probably say.
I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't want to give it a pass. If it wasn't for sometimes the character models, that's the only reason this game looks a bit good, is because the character models, Fury, all her brothers, Vulgrim,
and the Sins themselves, right?
And the Sins themselves, exactly. They look good. Everything else, nah. It does. It's not a pass. It's not going anywhere.
Oh, okay. It is what it is. Like I said, the listeners, it's not. Don't expect Horizon or God of War-esque type graphics in this type of game. It's just not there.
I don't think we should be expecting games to look like that in another 5 years.
It's one of those harsh things because we just came off playing God of War, the new Ragnarok, and it's really hard. It's really hard not to hold it to that level. Because you can't, because it's such a high bar. Ragnarok is, and you've got to try and like forget that you've played that game recently and try and just pull back your opinions and views, because that's hard to do.
I am googling the budget for Darksiders 3. It's made back the human budget has made. Oh, okay, so it's made back its budget. So the game was profitable.
Oh, that's good. I suppose that's nice.
The game was profitable. That's nice because I like the series and I like the creativity.
But I bet you didn't make a fortune, though.
Okay, THQ spent 50 million making Darksiders 2. Anyway, okay, I'm bogging the podcast down. The audio for this game, I couldn't find anything that stood out. Nothing.
Yeah, again, like I was saying before, I was playing the game and then literally just after listening to Odin and Kratos and all the voice acting in those games.
Good.
And you can't not see the one-dimensional voice acting in this game. There's no depth to how they talk at all.
There's no depth. You're completely right. If I listen to a single word from Heimdall, I want to punch him with all of my might.
Very true.
That's not in this. That's not in this game anyway.
No,
nothing.
These are all very forgettable. I couldn't, even Fury herself. There's just no depth to how she's saying things. Her anger and her say distrust or a lack of empathy, all the same tone, all the same type of like. There's not even pauses in a speech or anything like you were just reading it off her card or something like that. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same voice acting you'd find for PlayStation 3 era.
It's just average. It's just average. It's not bad voice acting. Bad voice acting would be memorable. You'd laugh at that for all the wrong reasons.
You mean Bad Boys, Miami Takedown, right?
Yes, Bad Boys, Miami Takedown.
That's
hilarious.
That was memorable because of how bad it was.
With Mark Lawrence and Will Smith adjacent characters.
But yeah, it was just forgettable. The voice acting in this was really quite...
Very.
Like... it was okay. It does the job of moving along the storyline, which is fair enough. And hell, at least there is voice acting. Yes, I'm talking to you, Pokemon. Why haven't you got voice acting yet? But at least there was voice acting in this. But again, it's just like the graphics. It's very meh.
It is very meh. If you listen to the voice acting and you put it against this stretchy, cartoony face, I'm not going to take it seriously.
No, exactly.
I'm not going to take it seriously.
You're not invested in it much at all. You're just like, okay, yeah. Oh, so that's why we're going there. All right, yeah. That's it. It's very even like soundtracks, because this is more your era. Did you find anything particularly, I don't know, awe-inspiring or?
No, I did not. No, this was very much just generate epic orchestral score number 364.
Yeah, just move it from the folder of epic orchestral scores and just move it across.
That's it. That is it. And then general chain swings. General body hits. It's it. I'm sure the sound designers did do a good job, but no. When I hit things with my Leviathan axe, here we go again, comparing it to God of War.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard.
It is very hard.
It is.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me compare it. Let me compare it to Darksiders Genesis, the top-down Diablo-esque co-op spin-off. right?
Okay.
I've been playing this with a friend for the past couple of months. It's fun. It's fine. The camera zoomed out enough so that the lack of detail in the environments actually fit.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
It's super fun, and I'm playing as War. Every hit that my greatsword makes against an enemy absolutely slams. It demolishes, and you can hear it through the audio. If you do a special move, the sound just goes crazy. Not id Software Doom level crazy, but you can feel the impact. I do not feel the impact in this game.
No.
It might just be because you've got chain blades, which in essence don't really make an impact. I don't know.
No, I don't know. But yeah, again, it's one of those things where I suggest it's just one-dimensional again. It's like you said. This hits that, but there's no context to like if you're underground and it should have an echo, or if you're hitting something that's made tougher compared to something that's squishy, and all the other things that actually goes into an impact sound, depending on where. There's just none of that, which is like you said, is different levels of sound engineering.
Yes,
it's when you have an initial sound and then you work out environmentally where is that sound and where are you in position to that sound, because then that would also make it a different sound. Which again, it's one-dimensional sound engineering. So it's just not there. It's like that. It's on par with its visuals fundamentally, which is what it is.
Par or even subpar, definitely subpar for 2018. But
yeah.
The only audio moment that stood out was when you're deep underneath these subway, sewer, caverns, whatever, which shouldn't exist. You in the distance can see this Captain Wrath, whatever, fighting angels.
That's right. Yes, I remember.
And the audio, it sounds like it's far off.
Yes,
which makes complete sense. That is the only moment that stuck out. That is the only moment that I would say, "Oh wow, that's good. That's some good audio design." That's it.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. As soon as you get to that part, you're just going to be disappointed from then on. Now, I know the part you're talking about. Yeah, and you hear it in the distance, and you start going towards it. Yeah, no. But yeah, it's, again, the idea that this came out the same time Red Dead Redemption and Odyssey.
It's Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War.
It's not... Yeah, it only shows that when you play it. So
so the budget might not have been as much, and the development time might not have been as long. Still, this is just a game that you can spend a weekend with, and continue on with your week as normal. That is it. Yeah, this isn't going to stick with you.
This is one of these games, and we were discussing this a while ago. It's one of those games that as soon as you find another game that might be better, you just leave this on the back burner. You don't continue.
Yes, that's perfect.
This is like your rebound game in between the good games you like. You know, like, this is being released next week and I got nothing to play. I'll play some Darksiders whilst you wait for...
This is your One Piece filler episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is filler. Yeah, exactly right. This is... This is until you get the good stuff again, which, you know, that's a market, I suppose, in some way.
Yeah,
it's a marketable aspect.
It is, I guess. But you touched upon something earlier when you talked about the rooms, and how they sound when you're fighting or talking, or whatever. And I thought, oh wow, they did not do any It doesn't distinguish between you're inside this room or cavern or cave and outside. It sounds the same. I don't know. It makes me think about the gameplay for this game and how the gameplay is supposed to be the funnest part of this game. I know these types of games, these arcadey games, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The gameplay is king.
Oh, 100%. Yes. But you build your game round the gameplay of such games like this.
Yes. That's been I think the philosophy since the first Darksiders game. Make it fun to play.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. Make the battling, the fighting, the best part.
Right. And I think in most cases, this game included, it does that. But it does that, but only because the other parts of this game are so lacking.
Yeah.
It's not super hard to make the gameplay stand out.
Yeah, exactly. It does stand out more because everything else is so subpar, as you said. Like you said, the gameplay yeah, again, very God of War, PlayStation 2 type era gameplay, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, like the arcadey / turn around, take this person down. I don't mind that. But it does, like, as you progress, yes, you gain new weapons and new abilities, which I like, because the new abilities then let you traverse the environment.
Yes,
things
you grow your arsenal.
Yeah, which that's fun. I think that's an enjoying aspect of it. But when you're fighting, most of the time, I just kept pressing attack button. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no. Granted, I didn't mind the counter dodge thing, But did you? Now I played on the PlayStation 5, and you played on the PC, right?
I played the game on the PC. That's right.
The only thing I just found. Now, granted, this might be a performance thing. I'm not sure of this game, but I just found it really weird to have dodge as R1.
Right? Me too. I could not. That's not intuitive. That's not. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
I kept trying to dodge, and I pressed the wrong button each time because I don't know. Yeah, again, maybe playing God of War too much, or even Dark Souls games. My hand does not naturally press R1 to dodge. It just does not feel.
It doesn't.
Right. Now,
No,
I'm sure you get used to it later on. Yeah, it was hard.
Did you get used to it?
No, I kept pressing. X to like roll. To roll, dodge, and stuff like that. I kept
yes.
pressing. No, it drove me mental every time. I'd even stand there, and because I wanted the dodge animation, I'd wait there and wait for the attack in that perfect moment, and then just press the wrong button. It was driving me nuts.
I eventually got used to dodging with R1, and once my fingers got used to it, I found the combat a breeze. I would just dodge once my fingers knew how to, and then completely rip into the enemies. And I can understand, once you grow your arsenal with more tools and weapons and equipment, it can start to get very fun, which is the point of these games. Just to grow your arsenal, to get these huge combos, Devil May Cry style, and just build on top of that. So I can completely understand why this gameplay is fun. The controls just aren't intuitive.
No, they're not. But it's like you said, it's one thing, level scaling. This game has level scaling, right? And that's one thing that I didn't like about it, because as you were saying, as you get progressively more weapons and in theory more powerful, yet the little minions are still taking like a quarter of your life from like one attack, and you think he doesn't look any different from the first. Did you not notice that the minions,
no, I didn't.
as you got hit, still took the same chunk of health away from you as when you started the game, as you got on later on in the game?
That's not how it's supposed to work. I hate level scaling.
Yeah, you felt as you were getting more powerful, for some reason, the little lizard dwellers or little insane men or something were also getting more powerful. It seemed like a weird disconnect. But I must admit, the boss fights were fun, though. Those could be quite complicated and hard. And they hit hard, too.
The first boss fight we talked about, Envy, Crow Witch Lady. That was a fun boss fight, right? There were moves we were dodging, jumping, slamming down. It was fun. The arena was probably the lamest I've ever seen. It's just a huge empty square. Nothing. You'd think there'd at least be some barrels. No, there's nothing.
No, it really was just that generic space, like tutorial space.
Yes,
to learn your buttons.
But you are right. The boss fights were entertaining. The Captain of Wrath, was that what he was called? The Captain of Wrath. Once I got my fingers to learn the controls, dodging and smacking, he was I hardly took any hits. And
thank God! He was a breeze, right?
Yes, he was. He was a breeze. After I killed him, I did feel like a badass. So the game did succeed in making me feel like that, which is good. It just doesn't look good.
No. And there were other, like, when you found out the items you pick up, which I can't remember what they were called. They were large.
Me neither.
I thought those were entirely pointless, because the only things they were packs of souls.
That's right.
And I thought, well, you might as well have just made them a souls pickup. Why do I have to pick it up, go into my inventory, and then open them? Now, I get that's a Demon Souls thing, right?
It is.
Demon Souls, you pick up the runes or whatever, or in Elden Ring or whatever, and you do that. But Demon Souls has a lot more grand crafting system and all that other thing, so it has a home in it. Where in Darksiders, all you do is pick them up and then open them, and that's it. I just thought that was like relative. Just to put it in there, so it was Dark Souls like, and that was it. I don't understand. It seemed pointless to me. What do you think?
I don't find it pointless because that would be a hard item in your inventory. Whereas when you died, all your soft souls, or those that you've collected, would disappear, and those in your inventory would not.
Did that happen in Darksiders? Because I just realised I didn't die. Does that happen? Do you lose all your souls?
Did you not die? I died a couple of times.
No, I didn't die.
Did you just not die?
It's a weird flex, I'll give you, but no, I didn't die.
Okay. Yes, when you die, all your souls you've collected, those soft souls, they do disappear, and you need to go collect them again.
Oh,
yes,
that makes
and those you've collected, these hard items, they stay.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that same premise was in Darksiders. Okay, so I take it back. That does make sense now. Okay, sorry.
You're just too good.
Yeah, I've never had that feeling before. I'm quite proud of myself. I was just obviously too good at what I was doing. Oh, okay, then I take that back. It's a good. Okay, I understand more. That's exactly Dark Souls then. But that's the exact same premise from Dark Souls to this game then, which makes sense.
The weird part next that I found playing on PC, so this is where our opinions might differ. You played on the PS5, I played on the PC, is the performance of this game. My game did not run well at all. It was bad.
In what way?
How about yours? Oh, okay.
Go on, go on. Mine was the simplest thing that you pointed out, which is frustrating. It ran at 30 FPS, and
I hate that.
You can see and you can feel it, and it's only now that I'm used to 60 and stuff with the PlayStation 5 that you can now even see it. You can see it even more. You know, my ignorance would have been fine years ago, and I wouldn't have noticed. But now you can really see that everything is slower. I don't know what better to say it. You can even gameplay running, everything is done at a slower speed.
No, it's the worst. I don't like 30 FPS games. This is the only reason I've not played Bloodborne yet.
Ah, yes, that's true. They got the same frame lock, so to speak.
Yeah, if there's a 60 FPS Bloodborne patch, or they remake it entirely for PS5, I'm first in line. But 30 FPS Bloodborne, no, thank you.
And how about your side? That was the only real problem because it's a console. It didn't crash or anything like that.
I had a couple of issues, and they weren't game breaking, but they were annoying. And would just succeeded in making me more annoyed at this game.
Okay,
when this game first started, this is a complete nitpick. This doesn't matter at all. But the intro video and the audio was out of sync.
Ooh, by how long? How much? Like half a second or like a good second?
A second or two.
Ooh, that's a lot.
They would start talking, and then a second or two later, then the screen cuts to whoever's supposed to be talking. It's horrible. It didn't spoil anything, or it didn't actually break anything. It was just annoying because it's a chunky intro. It's not short.
No, it's very true. Like I said, I didn't have that, but yeah, that would really ruin the whole atmosphere and stuff. Because I hate that with anything that the audio is slower or faster than the video. 5
or 10 seconds in, I was wishing, come on, can this video just end? Because I'm being annoyed.
Yeah, no, it is annoying
by this.
And what else?
I had frame drops
in the cities, in combat,
all over the place. It is the weirdest thing. So I played this on PC. My PC is not bad, but it is due for an upgrade. It's running GeForce 1050 Ti. I'd get frame drops on this. Everywhere in the combat or underground or in the city, the frames would drop from 60 to 40, sometimes 30, for no reason.
Ooh. Wow. And there wasn't any graphics like fire, the fire, shadow, the things that normally slow down frame rates going on at the time?
No, there wasn't. I couldn't understand why I got frame drops. They were just there, and then a couple of seconds later they'd be gone. Like, yes, I am complaining that it's not 60 FPS, which you played 30 FPS the entire time, But there is some performance issues that I did get on the PC version.
And it's
great.
almost even entirely more jarring when you're running 60 going to 40 to 60 to 52 to you're that's even worse than actually just being capped at 30. At least 30 is running consistent. Smoothly at 30 all the time, but dropping up and down. Yeah, that's I quit type scenario.
I think what annoyed me the most was this game is not graphically intensive at all.
No.
It's not.
It
doesn't look as good as other games released in 2018.
No,
I didn't understand, why am I getting frame drops?
Yeah. Like I say, I don't know. Like it shouldn't be, especially especially like I said, we just talked about the graphics. There's no reason, there's nothing in there that should have caused any sort of frame drops.
But besides that, for performance, I couldn't find anything else in this game. Although they did impact the score.
Yes, no, of course, as it should. And what do you think value-wise?
This game, we just checked online. Is this game $40?
30. I saw it $30
$30
on, which is it's too much.
It's a lot of money, but on the other hand, I don't know. This game, it is lengthy.
Yeah.
There's some replay value. I wouldn't pay $30 for it.
No, exactly. Remember, I also noticed that Red Dead Redemption is also 30. Red Dead Redemption 2 is 30. It's $30.
Okay, go buy Red Dead 2.
Yeah. It's when you compare it to the other games that are out there.
No.
Like, if you want just a good arcadey hack and slash, it's actually fine.
Yes.
But $30 for a 5-year-old game that is, it's not iconic.
Actually, 15 years old.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. It's not like it's a super iconic, super nostalgic. You're paying for that aspect with the extra, say, $15 on this. That's too much. But with at least with the PlayStation subscription, I don't know what level I am. It was free, so buy a PlayStation subscription.
It's on PS Plus Extra, which is the second tier.
Is that the second tier? Okay, there you go.
That's right.
Go for that instead. I don't know how much it costs, but at least you get a lot more, and this is free. And I think the other Darksiders games are also free on it, so you get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, okay, so the entire trilogy's on there then.
Mm-hmm. I believe so. So yeah,
I've been playing Genesis on PS Plus Extra as well. So wow, the entire franchise is available.
Yeah, so that's where you spend your money.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a bit too expensive for what it is, and it is 5 years old, and like you said, it plays like it's 13 years old. But it's worth a go. It is a bit of fun, but it should be priced as a bit of fun, especially now. I'll give you when it's opening sales and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pick it up when it's on Steam sales. I know we say that a lot, but Steam sales are there for a reason, and this is one of the games you should use it for.
Well, anything else for Darksiders 3, or are we golden?
We're good.
Okay, great. Ladies and gents, we played Darksiders 3 this week. I had somewhat of a ball. It was fun, but I'm glad we're past this game. Mm-hmm. We tallied our scores, threw it in a bag, shook it around, and wrapped it in chain blades or whatever.
That works.
And we received a letter grade rating of C-.
Yeah, which is the same as Pokemon Scarlet.
Is it the same as Pokemon? It is the same as Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think in both cases, these are just franchises that have been better before.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yes, and yeah, I think it's a good score. It exactly portrays what we were saying. It's worth a go if you want to, but it's not a must-have by any description. It's
dangerously close to a D, though.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the one thing to remember. It is very close to being a D.
But yeah, Darksiders 3. I don't know. I enjoyed the bit we spent on it, but I'm glad to move on.
Mm-hmm, same.
Speaking of moving on.
Nice segue.
Thank you. Why did you tell us what we're playing next week?
Well, next week, it's one of those games that I'm sure a lot of people have possibly heard of the latest one, but I'll be amazed if you've heard of this one. Next week, we'll be playing Revelations Persona, which is one of the... I'm not sure if the first, but certainly one of the first Persona games.
It is.
We all know Persona 5, the big
first
hit.
Persona game.
Is it the very first one for PlayStation 1?
Yeah, that's why it's called Shin Megami Tensei Revelations Persona.
Ah, okay. There we go. We're playing the very first Persona. It's been very exciting. I've played some of the older ones for the Game Boy Advance, but I've never played this one.
Yeah, so it should be quite interesting.
I look forward to its origins and how it first pans out. That should be a lot of fun.
But you're quite the investor in JRPG games, right?
Yes. I was playing Persona before people knew of Persona.
Right, before it was cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was there before. Yeah, I started the revolution.
Great stuff. Thanks for tuning in on this week's episode of the Critical Arcade Podcast. You can catch me on... I'm not too sure about Twitter anymore. I'll find myself, a different platform.
I'm sure lots of people are thinking the
Musk
same
is
now.
doing some cool things with Twitter. Maybe we can try Instagram or Facebook. I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to get that going.
Yeah. Or I'll send my email out. How about that?
Yeah, good luck. I'm sure nobody will send you spam or anything.
Dave, where can our viewers find you?
Well, if you do find me, I now, with my eyes open, will be collecting people's souls and leaving them as hard items for people to pick up later on in case they die, which, I don't. But
I love souls.
I'm going to leave souls, little bags of souls for people. So you will be harvested if you do come near me. So just, if that's what you want, by all means.
Rather not.
Yeah, rather not.
Thanks.
Especially at Christmas time.
Thanks for tuning in on this week's episode of the Critical Arcade Podcast. Catch us next week. All right. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.